Previously on Harlekin. I have to learn how to write a script that is this positive. Not this time though. Yeah, that's right folks, after 2 amazing episodes, the third is not the worst one of the show, I think, but Hazbin Hotel behind closed doors is definitely the least good, with its biggest problem being its biggest character. Charlie is incredibly hard to like this time around. She always had a problem listening to others and respecting their boundaries, but this gets amplified to a point where it's neither fun to watch nor in character. Last season, she tried to help Angel against his will by showing up at his job. Angel tried to make her leave by pushing her out the door, and Charlie didn't resist. When Valentino noticed and asked her what she's doing there, Charlie said she wants to talk to him, but a gesture from Angel was enough for her to pull back and say she doesn't want to interfere, they'll talk later. When Angel ultimately yelled at her and told her to leave, she left. Yes, Charlie has a problem listening to others, but her directly ignoring Angel telling her that he doesn't want to do this while he is confronted with the closest friends of his abuser again and again just isn't her. She even apologizes to him for this exact behavior, only to continue acting this way half a minute later. This wasn't her in season 1, and it especially isn't her in season 2. I praised the first episode for straight up fixing Vaggie, as she actually fulfills her role of being the realist who grounds Charlie in reality. They unfix her this episode, as Charlie doesn't listen to anyone. I do like her song though, just like you should like this video. Ain't a fan of some of the lyrics. Telling Angel to cover up has a lot of Christian conservative flavor to it, which I just personally find incredibly unlikable. And what do you mean stay sober? Jesus did not turn water into sparkling water, he wanted us to get shit-faced. This song's melody isn't nearly as catchy as the ones we got so far either, but still, it is fun to listen to. I wasn't really able to appreciate it the first time watching due to everything that came before and after. The big emotional highlight of Angel being willing to sacrifice himself for Husk is really sweet actually. It shows how far he has come, and Husk's reaction is very interesting as well, as instead of thanking him, he gets mad, clearly thinking that he isn't worth someone sacrificing themselves for. Yet it was really hard for me to take seriously, as first of all, what was Angel's plan to save him? Standing in front of a train doesn't stop it, it's a train. And second, when Charlie found out the brakes aren't working, she just yells for help. It isn't like her to become incapable of acting on her own in moments like this. All that Angel was able to do was jumping onto the train tracks, which Charlie is also capable of. I like what the moment is going for and partially achieves, but it's so forced. And most importantly, Charluigi's mustache just randomly disappears. Maybe Velvet stole it so she can have another accessory, as she constantly changes outfits. Not entirely sure why she brought multiple to the hotel, but still, it works really well for her doll theme and it's just fun to see all of them. I'm a big fan of this detail, just like I'm a big fan of her overall. Once again, an episode's highlight in this season of Hazbin Hotel isn't the hotel. Similar to the first episode, the Vees steal the spotlight, bouncing off of each other incredibly well, having great jokes and just doing more fun things. Which doesn't include interacting with Alistair? Vox literally intruding Alistair's home, only for them to not even exchange a single line of dialogue, was pretty disappointing. And speaking of disappointing, man, I do not care for Cherribomb. She is a fun character, I like her when she's around Angel and don't have a lot of negative things to say about her. Of course she is kind of bare bones at the moment, but that's fine. This was her first time getting a lot of attention, and moments like her deciding to stay at the hotel are an effective way of fleshing her out. Things like these need to happen so I start caring about her. But I don't yet. So using it as the big emotional ending to this episode fell completely flat to me. I'm well aware this could just be me being a grouch though. Maybe all of you already feel deeply connected to her character. I honestly don't know, so please tell me down in the comments. And the same goes for Baxter. He is, by all accounts, a fully functioning character. He has a well-established personality. I do like how nonchalant he tends to be. Unlike Cherry, who is a love-crazed pyromaniac, his mad scientist... honestly, with what we've seen so far, his mild scientist shtick is pretty overplayed, which does work against him. But once again, he's a fine character, just one that doesn't feel all that interesting to me. Unlike Lucifer, who I absolutely love, yet he is not in this episode? Why? He's even missing from the group shots. He lives in the hotel now and is present in the first as well as the next episode, so his absence in this one feels a bit strange. Charlie says she can't wait to tell her dad that redemption is possible, and yeah, sounds like a great scene. Would have loved to see it. And something else I would love is for you to like and subscribe so you don't miss my review of the 4th episode.